Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So I opened up my email just a couple minutes ago and saw an email from Shutterstock that I felt like I just needed to make a video about it because this is news that just came out, and I know there's going to be a big reaction from stock contributors, including myself, whom submit to Shutterstock. Shutterstock is my top earner when it comes to stock footage. So I just kind of wanted to let you guys know what the email is all about, what this news might mean for us as stock contributors, and kind of just start a discussion. Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments below. I know there's going to be a lot of you that just have questions, or you might be upset about what's happening. I feel that way too. So I kind of just wanted to make a video and let's just start talking about what this means for us and where we can go from here as stock contributors. So before I talk about it too much more, let's just go ahead and open up the email. I'm going to kind of walk you through what this news is and how it's going to affect us as stock contributors. By the way, if you're new to my channel, my name is Beth and I'm a stock contributor. So on this channel, we're all about how to make passive income as a photographer or filmmaker. So all these videos are about how I make money as a stock contributor. That means that I sell my own photos and videos online for a little bit of extra income each and every month. So if you're curious about that or you want to learn more, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of the other videos that we have coming out very soon. Alright guys, so I have the new breakdown pulled up here on my computer, and I am pulling this from the contributor Shutterstock forum just because they updated some of the information in here from what we got in our email. So you may get this information in your email, but know that you can find it here as well. So let's just take a look at what this is telling us. This is a new earnings breakdown for photos, illustrations, and vectors, and also for videos. So notice that they are separate, and basically what's happening is we're going to earn a different percentage of the price that the customer pays for your photo or your footage based on how many you've sold in that year. So let's just take a look at videos. If you've sold up to 10, you are in the first level and you'll earn 15% of what your customer pays. If you've sold between 11 and 50, you will make 20% of that sale, and so on. You can see how this is broken down. So for reference, in the past, I believe we made, and it did sort of depend on what license the customer was buying, but on average, we as contributors made around 30% per sale. So this is not very good news for most of us. For most of us who sell under 250 clips a year, you're going to be making less money than you were in the past. The other thing that you might want to pay attention to is that this is going to reset every single year on June 1st. So in the past, you could kind of work your way up and things might help you over time as you sold more and more, like a snowball effect. And that's not going to help anymore. This time, you cannot rely on things you've sold in the past. Every year, we will all reset to level 1, which means we will all go back down to making 15% until we reach each of those tiers. So that what that means is even if you sell a large number of clips or photos each year, there's still going to be several months in between where you're going to be making 15, 20, 25% until you reach those next thresholds. And honestly, how many of us are selling more than 5,000 clips in any calendar year? That's a crazy number. So to think that we would be making more than we've made in the past, it's just not going to happen. I mean, we'll see what happens. I don't know. I can't tell the future, but I know I'm not feeling optimistic about this. I know a lot of you probably are not feeling optimistic about this. Let's see. They said in this, it says January 1st here. I think there was a correction that it'll actually be reset in June, which means that is going to be happening very soon. So that'll be affecting us next month. So let's just read through the forum here. I wanted to read off some corrections they made. So here they're explaining that there was an error in the email, and this information is actually correct now. You'll see that instead of being paid a set amount per download, they will be moving to a percentage-based model for all licensing plans. This also could be really bad news, you guys, because they have been moving towards a subscription model. So in the past, where customers might pay per clip and they might pay a large amount, and then you would make 30% of that amount. For example, let's say a customer pays $200 for your 4K clip, you're going to get 30% of that money. Now, a lot of their customers are paying for subscriptions each and every month, and they're going to get unlimited downloads, or they're going to get a certain amount of downloads each month. And then you're going to be making 30% of that rate. So I know that this is what's happening across the board in the industry, and that's sort of how they justify what they're doing now. But it's a race to the bottom, and it's just not good news for those of us who are relying on this income. So let's keep reading. At the beginning of each year, we move to level 1. So the beginning of each year, we will be earning 15%. Correct. Our new compensation model is designed to reward them for quality work that is fresh, relevant, and in demand by our customers. They are trying to make it sound great that they're doing that, but that's not really good for any of us who have been doing this for any amount of time. The adjustments are being made to align with the changes we have been seeing in the global market for creative content. That's true, but again, like I said, this is just a race to the bottom. All of these stock agencies are charging less and less, and that's just not good for those of us who are producing this content. So we'll see what happens. Pretty soon we might be having to think of more creative ways to get our work out there, or we might need to write back to companies like Shutterstock and say, hey, this is not worth my time. I'm not going to be contributing at this rate anymore. We may have to draw a hard line for these companies to stop racing to the bottom. We also might have to come out with more creative ways to get our content out there, whether it be through our own YouTube channel or a private website where you can sell your footage directly to the customer. Those are just a couple of other ways that you can sell your footage and your photos online that are not through these stock agencies. I'm not saying that you should do that now. I'm just saying that we may want to look towards the future and think about other options. If these agencies continue to pay less and less for our work, then at some point it's not going to be worth our time and effort. So I'm really curious over the next 6 months to a year to see how this affects my earnings. I'm going to be sure to share that with you guys so that you can be updated as well. And if it starts to get to where I'm not making enough to make it worth my time, then I might try some different ways to put my stuff out there. So like I said, I'll definitely keep you guys updated on that. Let's look through some of these comments and just see what people have said. This person has been on here for 10 years. Now I'll be getting 20% commission on my footage clips. To get to the current percent, you would need to sell over 2,500 clips in a year. That is insane. I agree. It's a 50% pay cut for most users. So many people are upset. So many people are going to leave Shutterstock and come up with all these different ways. So the race to the bottom continues, ending their account. 15 years in the forums. Wow. Okay, you guys can clearly see this is not great news for those of us who are contributors, and I'm really curious to see what's going to happen over the next 6 months to a year. I'm definitely going to keep you guys updated on my own portfolio. As I always have, I'll let you know exactly how much I'm making and if that number starts to change. The truth of the matter is that if this is a race to the bottom, and if Shutterstock is following suit with some of these other stock sites that are just charging less and less, especially based on a subscription model for their customers, then it might be time for us as contributors to think of other creative ways to sell our footage and our photos to clients. There are other ways to do it. We can do it directly through YouTube. If someone sees your work and wants to license it from you, they can contact you and do that. You can do it through your own private website. You can make a website on SmugMug, pretty inexpensive, maybe even free. I don't know. I need to look into that. But there's other ways to get your work out there and to market it for yourself. So if we get to the point where it's just not worth our time and energy through these sites, that's going to be the next wave of the future. So I'm going to keep my eyes open for that, and I'm going to watch what happens to my earnings over the next several months and keep you guys posted. And if you guys have any ideas or you're trying something out for yourself, definitely leave that in the comments below. Let's get a discussion going and talk about what we can do about this. Maybe it's something that we need to speak up and say something to Shutterstock. Maybe they'll change this if enough of their contributors start responding or ending their sales with Shutterstock. There are other websites out there. There's Pond5, there's Adobe Stock. Those are two other big players that if we shifted all of our work to those sites, maybe Shutterstock would start to listen. I'm not suggesting that we do that right now. I'm just saying, let's talk about it. Let's figure out if there is a solution to this problem, and maybe there's not. Maybe the next solution is to just go on your own and license your own clips as you can. All right, guys, definitely leave me your comments below. Let me know what you're thinking. I hope that this video has at least helped you understand what's happening. I know it's not the positive motivational videos that we have done in the past, but definitely wanted to quickly just update you guys on what's happening and let you know that I'll be keeping you updated on my monthly progress as well.